Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Pav, the rising VTuber and artist, and today we're going to be continuing work on page 13. Now, apparently nobody let me know in advance that today was May Day. I forgot myself, but I didn't want to come in empty-handed, so I got this fucking AliExpress made outfit, and this is how we're going to do things today. That's just the circle of life sometimes. Can't really do much about that. But yeah, regarding the kind of procedure we're going to have here, I'm not sure how I want to do this. In fact, I don't think I should have this little chunk of the glass at all. Like, I understand where it came from, but I feel like it's messing up the flow a little bit. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to copy and paste this layer, and then we're gonna keep it there in like the other layer, but otherwise we're gonna pretend it doesn't exist. All right. Then I think what we're gonna do, I don't know what the easiest way of doing this is gonna be. I feel like maybe a big white flash or something in the background here. And actually, what might also work is, hang on. I'm gonna need to think about how to do this properly. So I am thinking like maybe like this almost like white light. But then along with that, we have a yellow kind of spray outward. I'm going to use, I think, a parallel line ruler. Because I feel like that's the easiest. Well, Actually, actually, I'm just messing around. Radial line might be the key here. I've been burnt by this before, but I'm ready to be hurt again. Maybe this yellow isn't strong enough. Also, I think I'm using a non-width variant pen, so I feel like maybe that's going to also be hurting how dynamic this looks. Okay. So then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this thing with the motion blur. Where is... Hang on. Backward direction? Huh? Wait. No, wait, radial blur. I think what I want is radial blur. Oh, Hachiko. Hello, everyone. I'm Paz, a rising VTuber and an artist. We're just getting started on some work on the comic page. The Boneheads have arrived. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for your hard work. I think you were playing, Were you playing Hades? What were you up to? Hang on. Hades 2. Hell yes. I've been meaning to check out the early access. I don't know when I'll get around to it. My philosophy for like a lot of gaming is just I'll get to it when I get to it. Oh, thank you for the follow. But yeah, I hope you had a good stream. I know that it can take a lot out of people, so if you need to raid and run, feel free to skedaddle. But if you want to stick around, I always appreciate it. Right, so I was gonna hit this thing with a radial blur. I don't know where. Do we have that here? Yeah, we do. All right. Now I wanted to make this is like supposed to be a big mechanism exploding really hard. And obviously I could just give that thing like the ordinary red and orange explosion, but I feel like I want to try and do something really colorful. I feel like that's going to look really cool. Also, it's not like previewing because I think it's going to take a while to calculate. Yeah, no, that's you guys can't see it, but there's a radial blur little pop-up that's like inching along bit by bit. That thing is not moving at an appreciable speed. Bro is going to fall behind. Your ass is not getting first place in the race of the Zodiac. Oh, wait, no. Hang on. We're starting to see progress, I think. A slow metamorphosis. I think the issue is that I'm making it process the whole page when in reality it just needs to be like a much smaller part. But this seems to be working pretty well. I feel like we should have elevator music playing throughout this. I do have a little something in the background, but like, oh my goodness, this is taking a minute. Oh yeah. I heard the other day that apparently Panera finally retired that charged lemonade thing that they used to sell. You know, they had this thing called like charged sips, which have previously been linked to wrongful death lawsuits. Like they give you some numbers here. The average cup of coffee is about like 40 milligrams of caffeine, and like your upper limit of safe, right? Like you shouldn't like try to hit this, but you're okay if you do. Is of around 400 milligrams per day. Like once you get to 600 milligrams, that's like flirting with danger. Most energy drinks clock in at about like 70 milligrams. Charged sips per serving per cup of thing that they gave you had 155 to 302 per serving milligrams of caffeine. So you could easily hit the daily like the upper safety limit with just like two of these things. Maybe even with one, depending on how generous the barista was feeling. Oh god. So that's probably a good thing. I don't know. I feel like some days you do feel like you do want to just get that level of charged, but I don't think I feel like you need to strongly consider your options when that happens. All right, why? I'm trying to make it do like a curved surface. Maybe what would be more appropriate is a what do you call fisheye lens. That might work a little better. Let's just apply the. Oh no, that didn't do much. Wait, I have a liquefy tool. Why am I not using that? Hold up. I bet if I hit this thing with a liquefy tool at just the right angle. Okay, new issue. The liquefy tool is not large enough to properly curve this unless. Hold on. This is reacting strangely. You know what? I think that's fair. That's actually pretty good. Might need to do a little bit of management here. All right. So I think the next is maybe repeating that process a little bit. What can I actually just like grab this and make it like way bigger? Is that on the table? Are we allowed to do that? I feel like it's not working. Fascinating outcomes that are happening here today. Also, these look a little too wavy. Maybe if I hit them with a Gaussian blur, it won't bother me as much. Oh yeah, speaking of caffeine, I heard the other day that apparently some eggheads in Australia figured out how to rig an ultrasonic reactor to make a cup of cold brew. So if you're not familiar with the process of making cold brew coffee, usually it's something that takes like a day, like 12 hours minimum, even for like the simpler stuff. Like what you do, it's the process itself isn't that complex, right? Like you get a bag of coarse coffee grounds and you dunk them in water and wait. That's it. Like normally coffee takes very little time to make because you're adding pressure to it through the coffee maker's mechanism. You're using hot water to extract it more quickly. There's a lot of things in your favor with making ordinary coffee, but cold brew is not like that. But yeah, they found out that if you put this thing in like an ultrasonic machine, it uses something called like acoustic cavitation, right? If you've ever heard of like mantis shrimps, you know how like they have like this punch that can create bubbles that hit with the force of like a 22 caliber pistol. Same principle. It's just making a lot of very small, very violently bursting bubbles that can, I'm guessing, break apart the coffee grounds. I'm not entirely sure how that helps make coffee. However, I do think it is pretty cool that you can just explode cold brew into existence. I do appreciate that. But yeah, it totally kind of, they abridged the time of 24 hours into around 3 or so minutes, which is a hell of a reduction on that personal best. Yeah, 1 to 3 minutes is what they said was like the optimal time. Some other stuff is also in the way, like right, like it's not going to be the perfect one every time. There's going to be factors in the environment and such. But 2 to 3, like 1 to 3 minutes is the benchmark that they were using. I don't know. I feel like making coffee lends itself very well to sort of mad science spend. Right? Right? Like I feel like sometimes I look at like old like coffee bean roasters, big machinery like that, and it's all this like copper piping, all this like very steampunk-y kind of stuff. Coffee is like one of the most easily accessible contraptions on the market right now. Time was you needed to get like a bicycle or something to get something even approximating a contraption, but nowadays you can get yourself like a few. Caffeine addiction has been so normalized that nowadays it's like completely normal to be able to get like a specialized brass machine. Well, normal might not be the right word, but it's certainly more affordable than it would have been in any other time period. Although I guess you could say that about a lot of technology. Hmm. Maybe, okay, I feel like this isn't working for some reason. Maybe if I try to use one of those urchin thingies, right? I remember there was like an urchin flash or something. Yeah, this thing. I bet we can get this one in here and it'll do just as good of a job. Yo, hey Jupiter! Wow, lots of raids today. How you doing? I'm Paps, a racing VTuber and an artist. We're getting started on some comic work. Hang on. Made? Yeah. I listen. It is a season, so I bought myself this little something on AliExpress because I definitely did this in advance and not like half an hour before stream started. Don't even worry about that. But yeah, it is May Day today. Grandmother, what big eyes you don't have! Oh, I see. Okay, I see how it is. So, so when the maid is skateboarding, that's all fine and dandy. But when the bag of rice, want to cosplay as a maid, that's suddenly a problem. Made in heaven. All right. You know, the thing that's really tearing me up about this is that this urchin flash effect is kind of mogging the shit out of the one that I had made. So I kind of don't need this one anymore. I feel like I could just copy this one and shrink it down, and that would actually be the superior one. Where's like the scale/rotate one? All right, maybe I'll do a little bit more free transform. Hmm. You know, for some reason, I'm remembering that one TikTok of this one dude who was like dressed in a maid outfit, and he's like, "Hi, welcome to our cafe. I'm welcome to Pause Cafe, where we're cuter than kittens. I'm Dennis, the diversity hire." But the thing is, right, when he said, as soon as he finished his bit, you could hear the door of his apartment opening, which meant that his either family or roommates came in, and he was immediately like frame one, like, I can explain. God, that really is truly the best part of living alone, is that you can do all kinds of stupid shit that that people would judge you for normally, and nobody can judge you for it. My omu rice will be extra blessed if it's from your noggin. God. Yeah, we did unfortunately have to bribe our health inspector to be able to serve that special omu rice that is definitely not made from parts of me, but it was so worth it. What would you like, Master? We have rice, rice, and rice. God. Dude, I would not survive a single day as a maid. I would say some shit like, "What's good, Goshijin-sama?" and then I'd get fired immediately. My command of Keiko fucking sucks and I am going to get killed. What the hell? Hang on. Battle of the Maid Cafe. Man rises to the occasion and tries to save a falling tray of drinks. God. I that reminds me, I do still need to finish watching that video that V posted of like that of visiting a maid cafe in Japan. I really should have watched that in order to like study up and learn more in advance. Get into the role. Actually, you know what? We do actually have an asset that would be perfect for this occasion. Hold up. I have two assets that would be pretty good for this. Hang on. I have. Let me see if I've still got this thing kicking around somewhere convenient. You really should have watched the VOD to see the chat reactions in real time. I hope I can catch the VOD at some point. Hang on. I gotta re-export this real quick. Hold up. Where's my Clip Studio Paint window? All right. I've got to re-export this real quick. So I'm gonna tuck away the window for a second, but it will be worth it. Trust. Okay, and now I just gotta angle this right. There we go. Some of y'all might remember this one from my Valhalla stream. I'm gonna place it like right there. Pretend that that's my actual arm. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Oh, actually, wait. I think we also have another one that would be really good for this, if I can find it. Yeah, there we go. This is how you save the tray from hitting the floor. You grow a third arm. Yeah, the dual drink. I'm gonna tuck this right underneath so it just looks like it's kind of falling. There we go. Okay. Let's keep working on this kind of starburst pattern thing. Right, now I'm gonna have anxiety about it falling for the rest of the stream. Gravity only exists because I say it does. You have nothing to fear. On my honor as a maid, this drink shall not hit the ground even once. Not once. It won't hit the ground. It won't hit the ground at all. Oh no! Ah! You get a Sure Wrath quick time event cutscene to save the drinks. Yeah, no. God. It's a good thing that none of these drinks are like actually real. They're all, you know how like in some restaurants they have like plastic models of their food, or like models that have been preserved in some unnatural way in order to like captivate your attention. Or like, you know how in some commercials they use like, I don't know, some kind of like engine coolant to make it look like maple syrup, even though that's disingenuous. Is that the beast on top of pudding? I think like when I made this, I originally wanted it to be like some kind of like you know that thing that happens when you like whip egg really hard? Foam? Kind of foam. Meringue. I want it to be like a sort of meringue. Yeah, I think that's not straight up a jello shot though. Don't have too many too quick or it'll really knock you on your ass. I tell you, it is perverse that now when I think of foam, for the thing is, right? My brain makes strong associations sometimes, which I can't easily shake off. And sadly, one of those associations is the word foam with that Square Enix game Foam Stars. Raccoon Cotton Candy .mp4 if it was made of sugar. I mean, cotton can't. Is cotton candy not made out of sugar? Am I misunderstanding the nature of cotton candy? Hmm. But yeah, that video of a raccoon trying to wash a thing of cotton candy is really cute. It is sugar. Okay, good. I was really worried I'd lost a solid grasp on my understanding of confectionery there for a second. All right, I gotta use a mask here. Also, I kind of want to change up the color of this kind of starburst pattern in the background here. I don't know if that's going to end up being too busy. Hmm. That doesn't seem right somehow. For some reason, this combination here reminds me a lot of like some kind of like old what do you call OS startup sequence. Although maybe if I use radial blur somewhere here. I think me and radial blur have something of an unhealthy relationship. I tend to overuse it, I think. Also, I just remembered another thing that I needed to do whenever I use radial blur, which is maintain the focus on the frame. Otherwise, it takes forever to load. Yeah, blur is a great friend to have, but I just don't know where to draw the line with them. Alright, let's see what happens when we apply the radial blur here. I just want to see what happens. Okay, yeah, that's taking a minute. I wonder when it'll be done. Oh no. Okay, that's already looking a little rough. I might have to. It always aches a little bit whenever I have to admit that like the filter wasn't the right one to apply because it takes forever to do this shit. And it does not look good. Hmm. Recently, I've been starting watching this web video. It was linked in V's server. I think it was from a channel called Majular, where the guy is doing a retrospective of the Ultima series. Now, the thing about me is that I was introduced. I haven't played a whole lot of the Ultima series. I tried to play Ultima 4 because it came free with my GOG.com account, and I tried to play all the games that gave me because I was broke and they came for free. But the only way that I knew about Ultima was because of these really old web videos. I watched the Spoonie experiment videos when I was in high school of the Ultima series. But seeing a different perspective on them is always really refreshing. I don't know. I feel like it's a good thing that we've moved away from like the model of guy who is so angry he could shit himself in video game reviews to more of a kind of like not necessarily wholesome, but not just like frothing at the mouth, angry at the universe kind of guy. I don't know. I never really understood the appeal of watching somebody get super mad at something. Maybe I just don't get it. But well, no, I get the appeal of seeing somebody get mad at something, just not for like an extended amount of time. You feel me? Loud noise is enjoyable. Slash J. Yeah, no. Like a little bit of righteous wrath every now and again is healthful and hilarious. But like if it's just some dude absolutely blowing a gasket for a solid 20 minutes, I feel like that's neither healthy for the guy presenting nor for me as like a method to develop like responses. You know, like you show an iPad baby, the angry video game nerd, and that baby's going to be punching holes through drywall in 3 to 5 business days. God. I remember there was this one. I remember in university, I was reading about this one experiment where they had raised identical twins like apart to see how like each one's situation differed. Right? I don't know. Like I feel like I understand where the idea that like oh twins will kind of be the same when they grow up, so you'll like they have similar developmental things, right? Because like they're pretty close together. I understand like the logic behind that, but at the same time, it's like also like first of all, it cannot be easy to find this many twins that are raised separately. Like that's always been like my thing about those kinds of experiments. Not like the ethics of it, but just how like I feel like that like there can't be that many twins separated at birth running around on Earth, right? Like I feel like there's like a finite number of those that you can find. All right. Well, we finished one Gaussian blur or radial blur, and now we get to do another. Yippee! I'm the guy separating all these twins so they can get their movie moment. What kind of Rumpelstiltskin ass thuggery is this? God, that is really funny. Like, I remember there was like a time period when when like it was so common for like medical university students to grave rob that it was like a problem. That we're kind of that's kind of like the same issue that we have here, except way different. Kind of like at the opposite ends of the life spectrum. I'm looking up. I was looking up the grave robbing thing just now to make sure they hadn't. Oh, this looks really bad if you radial blur it that hard. All right, hang on. I'm about to attempt a maneuver. Blur, radial blur, over here. Way less strong, and in both directions. But yeah, I looked it up just to make sure that I wasn't like pulling something out of my ass. But no, it is a real thing. Hold up. Let me put my web browser on the phone. Yeah. And of course it is Harvard. Last week, the New York Times reported that the manager of a morgue at Harvard Medical School. Wait, last week? Wait, hold up. That I do not remember it being this recent. A closer look at the history of how medical school like Harvard has exchanged cadavers shows that last week's indictment is not quite the anomaly you might think. Medical education was built on stealing bodies. The commercialization and stealing of dead bodies in the early 19th century was essential to medical education. Without the underground trade in dead bodies, there would be no medical schools and there would likely be no medical profession, or it would have taken generations longer for the medical profession to establish legitimacy. Holy shit. All right, well, don't get buried near Harvard, I guess, is the moral to the story. Don't get buried near a medical school. Or else you're gonna have some fucking Frankenstein wannabe all up in your eternal rest. And unless you happen to be a pharaoh, I don't think that's gonna be particularly pleasant to deal with. Well, I guess even if you are a pharaoh, that's still a pain in the ass. You know, like the pharaoh's curse doesn't make it like less of a pain in the ass to get grave robbed. Get buried in the woods like God intended. Yep. Or in the sea. You know, at least in the sea, you know, you're not gonna have a peaceful grave exactly at the sea, but at least you'll be fish food. You know, you'll be doing like something with yourself. I don't like how this turned out. I feel like maybe I need to hold up. Okay, then over here. What I might do as well is just hit this thing with a gradient map. Just before we go any further. I got some real good ones that have like multicolor. I've been kind of itching to find an opportunity to use them. These are so funky looking. I'm actually really enjoying this. The pink tones are nice, but I want something with more diverse color wheel representation. Hmm. Nah, that's not it. That's good, like in terms of saturation, but I don't want it to be like that. Not quite what I'm looking for. I feel like you could use recordings of my voice whenever I do gradient mapping to write softly worded rejection letters for people applying to your jobs. I'm speaking to people in the cadence of like, unfortunately, your portfolio is not what we're looking for at this time. I think out of all of them, maybe this one or I'm not gonna lie, I do just enjoy seeing the pretty colors. I don't know, maybe we have let me see if I have anything else up my sleeve. Like maybe hmm. Interesting. I like this one because it's fitting with like the rest of the color scheme of the page. I'll try this one. Also, I do want to maybe use a mask layer here to just avoid having it interrupt the actual dome. Okay, then over here. Lower the brush size just a tiny bit though, maybe? Use a rough eraser here for this part. Okay. This part too. It really is kind of an interesting feeling whenever I have to do like delicate eraser work like this. It feels like I'm whittling away at something. Okay. Alright, so here's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna place this one over top of this and again kind of apply a... Hang on. Oh, I didn't get all of this. My bad. Also, this one here is missing a couple little bits. Alright, let's rasterize this one. Why do you look like that? Why did you suddenly lose so much tone? Okay, what is wrong with this guy? Show gradients, yes. What do you mean by that? Hang on. Okay, something's very wrong here. Hang on, what if I like... Okay, there's something really weird happening. Hmm. Okay, I don't know why that's happening or how to stop it, so I'm just gonna not bother with that right now. I'm just not gonna be bothered by that. Hmm. Oh yeah, adding a little bit of shadow definitely helped. Me when I'm the creative director of Sonic Heroes and I'm being asked what we should do to make the storyline more engaging. I remember really liking Sonic Heroes as a kid, at least conceptually. Gameplay wise, I kind of suffered because Sonic Heroes is not a fun game to play. But the vibe was good, and that's what matters when you're 6 years old. Alright, I need to get rid of this thing. I feel like it's really cramping my style. See, this is the thing with a cool shading. The fact that you're trying to make is that sometimes it like requires you to think outside of the box for how you actually want to do this thing once you get to actually shading it. Okay. Let me get rid of some of these on this side. Okay, so now that I'm in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use the blur tool, if I can find it. Too strong of a blur. Too weak of a blur? What is that? I don't know how to describe that. Anyway, it looks whack. All right, let's try that again. Hmm. Okay, then over here. Hmm. I'm just trying to throw different sorts of things at the wall and seeing what sticks. I feel like this next idea is a winner. It's got a winner vibes. I like that phrase. Has winner vibes. I remember picking it up from this one of those like is it Gantt? It's not a Gantt chart. It's like one of those like matrices, right? Where it's like talking about like the definition of a girl boss, right? And you know, it was like girl radical, boss radical, a girl neutral, boss neutral, and I forgot and you know, like it's like talking. I think the last one's like very strictly like girl and boss. So like you have like the traditional idea of like a girl boss, which is a very successful woman who is in her own enterprises, and then you have like the idea of like this, and then you have like the like radical idea of like what a boss is, and that's not necessarily that they even win; it's that they just have winner vibes. I don't know. I think that's a strong. Even I think like outside of the context of that meme, I think that's a strong outlook to have. You know, even if you're not winning, I think so long as you can say I'm not winning, but I have winner vibes. I feel like you've already adapted a very strong mindset. You know, you don't need to be a winner. You just need to be somebody who believes they can win in some capacity. I think that's sufficient sometimes. Okay, there we go. Okay, who's leaking that out? I think it's all of them. I think I just haven't been sufficiently tight with some of these. I need to make them into inescapable nets. Okay, getting there, getting a little better. Still not perfect though. How are we doing with this? All right, not bad, not bad, not bad. Still missing some over here though. Wrong. Okay. I see now where I've gone astray. This part here is going to be what's causing the problem. Still not enough. Okay, I see. You're a discerning customer. You have high standards. All right, where the hell is it coming in from? Is it here? No. Is it... Where is it coming from? Here? Nope. All right, where? Oh. No, wait. Okay, that's still not it. So what? That's not it either. Okay. Trying to puzzle out where the sky is, where like the white part is leaking in from, or like where the orange is leaking in from. Oh my god! Finally. Also, that doesn't look very good. But I can make it look good. Hang on. I know how to fix this. There's like a multi-step plan. I have like a 5-year plan in my mind's eye. Yeah. I don't think I could claim to have a third eye, given that I have like one eye, what if I'm trying really hard telepathically. But I certainly wouldn't be able to claim I have a third eye. Hmm. Okay, then over here. I need to make this part coming in behind the beam pure orange. Because that's the only part that makes that's the only way it makes sense. Okay, then what else is there? Okay, then over here. Okay, I do like it with the bigger shadow, I shan't lie. Yeah, you ever see like those random packets of like fruit punch or whatever, and it has like a flavor that's called like like mixed berry blast or pineapple grenade or I got or boysenberry mollywop, I guess. I don't fucking know. I feel like if you have like something called like citrus explosion, this should be like the idea of it. Just like so much goddamn orange and yellow. To the point where it's a little bit off-putting, a little bit insulting. What about blurring it? Is that going to do anything? No, that just looks weird. Alright. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to select this color gamut. And hopefully what's going to happen is that we are going to be able to do something on the inside of the sphere here. Like perhaps this. No, that's not anything. Okay. Keep trying. That doesn't really fit in with it. Okay, that's getting warmer. Hmm. Alright, new idea. I don't know, we have like... I'm trying to figure out how to shade this part here. So maybe like bright yellow, actually? Maybe that'll work. Yeah, no. Actually, yeah, maybe this is where the urchin patterns come in. I don't know, this one feels this one still feels kind of sauceless relative to the others. I wonder how come I feel that way. This last ring is also bothering me just a tiny bit. But this does look pretty nice. I think one more thing that I could do is just hop in here and nah. Or I mean, maybe it would work with this orange. Actually, hold up. This might be kinda... Huh. Alright, hold up. I got an idea. First, I should save my work. That's my first idea. Then the next step in my brilliant plan. Yeah, that definitely adds something to it, I feel. Maybe this one can be just like a fully opaque one, but with like a little bit of transparency to it. I don't know. But that's looking pretty sweet. Alright, now how do I get Hawk in there without uh instantly perishing? I think the fastest way to do it would probably be to stick everything in this one layer and then just say fuck it, we ball and try my best. My usual strategy, you see. Honestly, I like these better when they were like that. Yeah, just like solid fill. I feel like that really adds something. Let's play around a little bit more with the line color of the explosion lines too. And maybe if we even did a little bit of like eraser work right around here. Nothing too crazy, just The only issue is that like once you do that, it doesn't have nearly as much punch to it. That's my main issue with some of this cross hatching is that sometimes it just lacks that fundamental punch that like solid cell shaded does. Nah. Although I will say I do feel the need to maybe actually no, these first couple swipes were clean. Actually, we can clean them up even more. But yeah, I think the main issue here is that we have like that solid line running through it from when I was digging around with it. I feel like maybe if we try to wipe that, like maybe reduce the influence of that and go with more. Hold up, just noticed something else here. Get out of there. We try to use more of this sort of approach where it's not a solid line, just straight up more action lines. I think that's really going to benefit it in the long run. Okay. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right, now we focus on Hawk. Honestly, I am wondering if it might not be a good idea to follow suit a similar pattern and just do like all white. Right around here. Right about now with the sunk full. I was about to say the sunk full brother. I don't think that's how the song goes. Uh, Pirates of the Caribbean. What do you call his name? Fat Boy Slim be like the sunk coal brother. All right. Hold on. I'm going to try and do something. I'm going to go back to this one and also like. There we go. No, I think I hit the nail on the head with this one. What about the... I don't know, is it this? Is it these things? Maybe they really would have been better in like some kind of blending mode. I think screen is the one that I felt the best about, so let's try and go for that one. I think this last one can stay solid. If perhaps a little bit more... Hang on. Saturation up. Voluminosity. Oh, that's already up? That's odd. Maybe I can do a little bit of both. So maybe I can do one screen, one... Yeah, there we go. There we go. I'm goated. All right. I need to do area scaling 1 with this one. Okay, then maybe a little bit of extra over here. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, I'm starting to feel like this might not be the best art direction to go in. Let's try something else. Okay, then over here we can just do this one. Okay. I see I forgot to shade the hand up top here. Let's go fix that real quick before I forget. Okay. Then I think we also should have. Let's just wrestle up some kind of random. Wait, no, I think we should have some from up here. Yeah, there we go. There's the right shade of color. Okay. Somehow it feels like I started late. Like I no, I started at the normal time, but somehow it feels like I started quite late. Who knows? I guess agonizing over the color palette for that explosion must have felt like it took longer than it did. Maybe that's what happened. Let's see. Okay. And over here. The perception of the passage of time really is quite a whack fucking thing. Like day by day, nothing changes, but when you look back, nothing is the same. Get real. What a con. I think the bottom soles of the boot are also this dark blue. Yeah. I don't know. Recently, it feels like I've become like allergic to making the bottom soles of shoes a darker color. I don't know. Something about it just don't feel right. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to put the actual background up here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through my gradient maps to see if there isn't one that's compatible with this color palette. Like maybe this one. Oh yeah. It's all coming together. Okay. So now we are going to add some extremely large, harsh, blocky shadows. And also the halftone, because why not? By halftone, I just mean the one on the jetpack. Okay, now for real. Hmm. Oh god, this accident. Okay, first of all, I was about to make a joke how like because of the color gradient or the gradient toning or the gradient matching or whatever the gradient mapping. Now she looks like a Simpsons character, but the problem is that as well, like now the leather from her normal clothes and also her shirt, her skin look like it's the same color. So now it's all just. It's an interesting situation to say the least. I will have to see how it develops. Okay. Come on, bud. You can connect the lines. There we go. Okay. I almost feel like going towards green for the back half for like the shadow on the helmet here. I think that's a cool color for what we want to communicate here. Okay, then over here. God, the other day I saw that there's this one VTuber that does like a bunch of crazy science experiments, and the other day they used the demon core to grill some, well, like a recreation of the demon core. Obviously, I don't think it was the full power version. I don't think that would be like legally possible to own. I don't know. There might be some dude out there who's like offloading plutonium for nefarious purposes. Who gives a shit? Actually, no, that is something we should kind of give a shit about, broadly speaking. But yeah, I got super scared. I feel like I don't know. I feel like most people respect the radiation, the threat of being irradiated an appropriate amount. So any kind of like flirting with it is just kind of terrifying to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not radiation pilled and uranium maxed. Okay, and over here. Okay, and then we're just gonna go ahead and make it like this. Add a couple things here and there. It really is quite convenient when they don't fully cover up. Like when these rings are like detached from the rest of the gaps, because then there's no need to cover them up or anything. Okay, then over here. Maybe like this, even? No, that's not right. Alright, here's what let's do. Shrink this down. Maybe a little more. I think that should be sufficient. Hmm. Let's think. Shrink this down a couple times again. Honestly, I think what might be a better idea might be just to go like this. You know, by exception rather than by occurrence. Nope. Soft eraser is not the way. How's this? Getting there. It's getting a little bit better. But then that also means that the issue wasn't even the... Maybe what we go where we go from here is like a... Ugh. I'm trying to like brain out what I want to do with this. So maybe like this and then this. Or maybe even like this. I really don't know what to do. I don't know. Maybe this is one of those trust the process moments where we can come back to it later and maybe it won't look as bad. Hopefully. Honestly, this seems fine. Okay. Okay, then over here. Over here is another good one. Wrong color, I think. Okay, there we go. I think that feels correct. And how's that look with the rest of it? Oh wait, actually, I think I know. I think I might know a way to turn myself back around on the jetpack. No, never mind. Somehow that made things worse. Unless I wasn't just doing. I just wasn't. No, I was gonna say unless I just wasn't doing it enough, but no, I was. I think I was doing plenty. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. Hold on. I keep pressing the wrong button. Put these in a thing here. Unmask that. Not unmask. Unclip that. And then I think the last thing to do is to maybe deploy a little bit of motion blur here. So, okay, filter, blur. I need to flatten it first. Where did you go? Window, where did you go? All right. Blur, motion blur. That's radial blur. That's not what I mean. I don't know. Maybe radial blur could work. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Which way radial blur? Path of glory or path of death? Still loading. Give it a minute. Let it warm up for a minute. All right, I'm estimating like oh god damn it, that's still like way too strong. Hang on. Filter blur, radial blur. Like maybe like a 1. Let's try a 1. I'm going to move her a little bit into the left as well. Maybe even like less motion blur. Hang on. Just make her just a teensy tiny bit bigger. And then filter, blur, radial blur. Like maybe like a third of that. So maybe like a 0.5 or just 1. You know, one's a pretty solid number. That or I just switch it to go outwards rather than in both directions. There's still a few options, but let's see if I can find something that really satisfies me. Maybe even... Hang on. I'm going to undo this, redo it, and then just for this front bit, use the gradient erase. Wrong layer. Alright, I think that does help a lot, though. Alright, I think with that, we have finished page 13. I do think that I'm satisfied with the explosion. I feel like I'm not sure what else I could do with it. Except maybe with Hawk here. We could actually probably use the gradient erase on this. Wrong layer. On this side now. No, why are you erasing like the whole person? No, why are you like this? You know what, whatever. I'll figure it out or I won't. Or I could just figure it out in one shot this time. That's also fine. I'm cool with that. Yeah, Rafa is gonna have to do some heavy duty lifting with the text effects on this panel though. But I'm happy with the result. Alright, we still got a little bit of time before we have to head out, so I think maybe get started on page 14. Page 14 has a very small Hawk. Just look in the first panel. The magic 8 ball in my head says I'm not doing all that. I think I might just end it early, actually. I think that's going to be what I want to do. Okay. That being the case, let me go see who all is streaming right now. I don't think I saw anybody streaming just yet. Let me see who all is chilling. Oh, Corgi's playing Final Fantasy X, so let's go say hi to Corgi. Alright. In the meantime, I'll see you around. Happy Mate Day. I had a lot of fun. Yeah, thank you very much for coming by. Thanks again to Hachiko and to Jupiter for the raids. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all on Sunday. I am taking tomorrow off. Later. Bye.